Okay, so the Eagles just seemed to unveil massive plans for Quinyon Mitchell just days ahead of the opener in Brazil, as defensive coordinator Vic Fangio expressed extreme confidence in the rookie cornerback and made it clear that he's ready to take on a huge role in this defense. Meanwhile, the Eagles' other rookie cornerback Cooper DeJean says he's ready for whatever role he's given, while Vic Fangio talked about some challenges that Bryce Huff is going to face in his new and expanded role. Plus, Fangio also revealed that the battle at the linebacker position is still ongoing heading into the season, as it seems like Nakobe Dean still has a chance of earning a starting job. While Darius Slay made it clear that he's not exactly thrilled about going to Brazil, so let's talk about that and all the other latest Eagles news starting right now. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Philly Fan 21 channel. If you're new, I'm Evan and I cover all things Philadelphia Eagles, and we are one day closer to the Eagles opening the season down in Brazil, as the Friday night matchup with the Packers is just 3 days away, and with each passing day, things just seem to get more and more real. I mean, many Eagles fans have already traveled down to Brazil ahead of the game, including the legendary superfan Philly sports guy who was seen running wild on the beaches of Brazil. And I think it's safe to say that pretty much all us Eagles fans and Philly sports fans would love to have this guy's life. And as much concern as there's been about going down to Brazil due to crime and things like that, I don't know, I mean, at least in this video, things look to be pretty safe. However, some more concerns for Brazil were brought up recently by another Eagles player in Darius Slay, as in a recent episode of his podcast, he revealed that he's not exactly excited or feeling good about taking this trip down to South America.
Let's get into this Brazil trip. Week one, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait, but man, I do not want to go to Brazil. You want to know why? I'm here to tell you why. They already told us not to leave the hotel. They told us we can't do too much going on because the crime rate is crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, NFL, why would y'all want to send us somewhere with the crime rate this high? And like, we out the country. So, you know, the first thing people think is like something terrible can possibly happen. I told my family, do not come down there because, like, I'm not going to be nowhere to be found. Really, I'm going to be in a hotel chilling, minding my business, playing my game after a long 9.5-hour flight. So I don't have no intentions on doing that. I'm going to eat hotel food. I'm doing everything. But they said, yeah, man, it's going to be pretty crazy down there. You know, police said they're going to be, you know, try to be the best they could possibly be, the top flight security of the world, Craig. You know what I'm saying? So we hope for that, man. But I do go down there to come down there with a win, go down there, get a W, and come back happy. You know what I'm saying? Come back home safely. Because they talking about it is crazy down there.
Yeah, this isn't exactly comforting to hear, and it definitely brings back up the questions about player safety and why the NFL would even put two teams in a position like this where they're playing in a place where the crime rate is really high. That being said, though, if we're being honest, the crime rates of a lot of NFL cities in America, including Philadelphia, aren't that great either. So, while yes, it's not ideal that the crime rates are so high in Sao Paulo, it's not like they've never played in places with high crime rates before, and as long as they listen to the instructions and just stay in the hotel, they should be okay. At least that's just me trying to stay positive about the whole thing, but what do you guys think? But now, moving on from that, while a lot of the attention has been on the Eagles traveling down to Brazil, the Birds still obviously got to play a game, and against a tough opponent at that in the Green Bay Packers. And while I talked about Jalen Hurts praising them in my video yesterday, defensive coordinator Vic Fangio also talked about the matchup with Green Bay before practice yesterday, as he realizes that their offense is very dangerous and will be a tough test for the Eagles defense.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest problem in defending their offense is they run it just as good as they throw it. So they have a really good mix on first and second down, run and play action, and it makes it hard to defend. And then you throw in what you alluded to of a scrambling mobile quarterback, it adds another dimension to it. And they're really tough to defend. They run it and throw it equally well, and you throw in an athletic quarterback, and it'll be an all-day sucker.
Yeah, I don't really think it's a secret that Vic Fangio and the defensive coaches have their work cut out for them to try and come up with a plan to stop this high-powered Packers offense. And so do the players too, obviously, because they're the ones out on the field who just have to execute. And a big part of the Eagles' defensive success this season could hinge on the play of their linebackers, as we've seen Vic Fangio's defenses in the past benefit from and rely upon some really high-quality linebacker play. And we also know just how bad the Eagles' linebacker performance was last year and how that hurt the overall defense. So, safe to say that the Birds are going to be relying upon that position group having a huge uptick in production this year, but the crazy part about this whole thing is that it seems like the Eagles still don't quite know who their starters will be at that position, as Vic Fangio says that the battle at that spot is still ongoing.
No, it's ongoing. You would like to settle into guys, you know, in a normal playtime rotation, who's in on what, but, you know, it's still ongoing.
It's certainly going to be interesting to see who plays the most snaps and what the linebacker rotation is going to look like in week 1, as based on those comments, it certainly seems like more than 2 guys are going to see the field at that position as the coaching staff tries to narrow it down to just a starting 2. And I gotta say, at this point, I think my confidence in Nakobe Dean is at the highest it's been in a while, and the whole reason this competition isn't over is because he just made it impossible during training camp for the coaching staff to put him on the bench, because for probably around the second half of camp, he was arguably the team's best linebacker, and with all the recent hype and praise he's received, plus with the ability and skill he was able to show in the preseason, I just couldn't be more excited to watch him, because I do think there's a solid chance of him earning the starting spot next to Devin White. That being said though, Zach Bond definitely has looked good so far as well, so it may be hard to bench either one of these guys, but I guess we'll see what happens. And I also guess we'll see what happens in regards to all the Eagles who are currently dealing with injuries. Now, in my video yesterday, I talked about how both Dallas Goedert and Isaiah Rodgers returned to practice on Sunday, which was obviously fantastic news, but what I didn't mention is that the Birds also saw some of their other players return to the practice field in the rookies Johnny Wilson and Jalen Hunt. And these are 2 guys that obviously are going to have much smaller roles than Rodgers and Goddard are going to have, but still could be valuable pieces for the team this year because both have looked very good at times during camp and flashed some ability, and they both have unique skill sets that I'm sure the Eagles coaching staff want to take advantage of at points throughout the year. So it's just great to have them back out of the practice field and seeming like they won't miss any time. And the Eagles actually released their first official injury report today after practice, and all things considered, it was pretty good, as Hunt and Wilson along with Goddard weren't even on it, while Isaiah Rodgers was a limited participant in practice with that hand injury that he's been dealing with, so hopefully he's able to get through that and be good to go for Friday. And then another name that was on the report that did surprise me a little bit was linebacker Devin White, as he was the only other Eagle on the list that was actually limited due to an injury, as he's dealing with some sort of ankle issue. So that's definitely not a great sign, as he is of course right now who everybody probably perceives to be the Eagles' top linebacker, but we're still of course a couple days away from the game, so both him and Rodgers could definitely be good to go when Friday rolls around, but it'll definitely be a situation to monitor in the next couple days. But now moving on to another injured Eagle, we look at Sidney Brown, who won't be suiting up in Brazil as the safety is starting the season on the PUP list while rehabbing from his ACL injury back in January, and he'll miss the first 4 games of the season at least, but it seems like Sid thinks that after that, he'll be all good to go and ready to get out there and play, as he provided a positive update on his injury status. And don't worry, we're going to get into that and so much more in just a minute, but real quick I do want to say, if you are enjoying this video and don't want to miss any Eagles coverage or content coming throughout this entire season, then make sure you subscribe and also really importantly turn on notifications so you're notified instantly when one of these videos is uploaded. I think that's a win-win for the both of us, because not only do I get more people consistently watching these videos, but you don't miss any other Eagles coverage or content just like this. So again, subscribe, turn on notifications, and also drop a like. Let's see if we can hit 800 likes on today's video. And now with that being said, let's get back into the video. So as I was saying, Sidney Brown recently provided a very positive update on his injury, as Jeff McClain asked him on Monday about it, and Sid had some nice things to say, with McClain tweeting out, quote, "Eagles safety Sidney Brown, who started the season on PUP as he rehabs from an ACL injury to his right knee, expressed optimism about his return, said he expects to be off PUP after the minimum 4 weeks and would need 2 weeks to ramp up for what he hopes is a return by week 6. So that's definitely great news, and again, I just cannot wait for Sid to get out there and play in this Fangio defense, because I just love the physical brand of football that he plays, and I think he can be a game changer in whatever role they may give him. So hopefully Sid is right and he's back out there as soon as possible in week 6 after the bye, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see on that front. And we'll also just have to wait and see how good the rookie Quinyon Mitchell will be in his first NFL season and exactly what kind of role he has in the defense. And I think it's probably pretty safe to assume that the rookie's going to be pretty good, as all summer Mitchell has earned praise from a number of different teammates, and he even has been able to earn the respect and praise of his old school defensive coordinator Vic Fangio, who we know is very honest and tells it like it is, and with Mitchell, he's just had nothing but great things to say about him. And that continued on Monday when he made it clear that he believes Mitchell is ready to take on a big role in this defense.
Do you see Quinyon as being a guy who's going to be on the field just about every play? Like, is he ready to handle that kind of responsibility beginning Friday?
Yes. Yes and yes.
And what has he shown to kind of make you believe that?
He's just played good. You know, he's done a good job picking up his responsibilities, done a good job playing, and he will be out there.
I honestly just could not be more excited to watch Mitchell this year, just with all the hype that there's been around him during training camp and preseason, and especially with these comments from Vic, because if he says something, then I know there's truth to it, and it's just awesome that Mitchell has performed well enough and impressed Vic enough to the point where he's going to have a huge role on the defense, possibly playing every snap. And on top of Vic's comments, Darius Slay also recently expressed confidence in Mitchell ahead of his debut against the Packers.
I even know he's ready.
Yeah, like what did you see this summer?
A lot of he been ready since he stepped out of the mama. He came out of mama, he been ready. Ain't it cute? You been ready since you came out your mama. So he was already destined for it. So it's a great opportunity, man, for him, definitely. I'm just blowed that his first game can't be experienced in the link, but you know what I'm saying, because it's a home game, you know what I'm saying, but it's going to be experienced in Brazil, but we're going to have a good time with it.
Yeah, safe to say Quinyon's ready, and I honestly just cannot wait to watch him play, because I think he's going to do great things, not just this year, but also moving forward throughout his entire career with Philly. And I also can't wait to watch Cooper DeJean, as even though he won't have as big of a role as Quinyon probably will, he's surely going to be used in some capacity throughout the season, and despite just coming off an injury that kept him out for most of training camp, Coop recently said that he feels great, and he's ready to play in whatever role the Eagles give him.
I feel great, ready to go. You know, I've gotten more and more reps, you know, as I've gotten back, you know, so I've got more and more comfortable out there on the field, which has been good, and these guys have been helping me along.
And we're still seeing a rotation somewhat on defense. What have they told you about your role and how you'll contribute on Friday?
Yeah, I think just being ready to go in whatever position they put me in. You know, I've practiced at multiple positions, you know, so just being ready to go wherever I'm placed, and, you know, be able to do that to the best of my ability.
Again, just like Quinyon, I'm just so excited to watch Coop play. I mean, despite some struggles, he definitely showed some promise in that preseason game that he played in, and we gotta remember, this is a rookie who hasn't played in a game since November and missed most of training camp with an injury, so as time goes on, he's sure to get better and just more comfortable. And the same thing can be said about the new edge rusher Bryce Huff, as he's of course going through a big transition himself to becoming an every down player in his first year with the Birds. So of course with that, there are going to be challenges and growing pains, which is pretty much exactly what defensive coordinator Vic Fangio said on Monday. As while he said that Huff has gotten much better and grown in this role, he also said that he expects there to be new challenges for him each and every week.
It's been good. Hopefully he'll continue to improve, and I think he will with reps. And now each and every week will present new challenges to him, because you're seeing different types of offenses every week. So different style of runs, different style of passes when on the rare occasions when he does have to drop. So every week will be a new challenge for him.
I'm just really going to be curious to see how Huff handles this new and expanded role, because his success in my mind is going to be one of the most crucial things for the Birds' overall defensive success this year, as he's just going to have a huge role to play, and he's the guy everyone is relying on to replace Hassan Reddick's production. So again, it'll be interesting to see if he's able to do that or not, but we'll finally get to see it firsthand on Friday in the Birds season opener. And of course, you guys know I'm going to be covering everything from that, just as well as all the other Eagles news throughout this entire season. So again, if you don't want to miss any of that, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you're notified instantly when one of these videos is uploaded. And also, again, while you're at it, make sure you drop a like to show some support if you did enjoy this video. I'd greatly appreciate it, and it really does help me out a ton. Again, let's see if we can hit 800 likes today, and also just leave a comment down below regarding anything that I talked about in this video. And if you want to watch another video going over from all the news from the past couple days, you can check this out right here. And now with all that being said, that's pretty much all I got for this one, guys. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.